Bayley just addressed the idea of bringing back the tag team titles, so we'll see what she had to say. We'll also check in on the latest with Sasha and Naomi, as well as Lana's weird story with Vince McMahon. Let's start things off with Bayley and the return of the women's tag team titles. A lot has changed since we last talked about the WWE women's tag team titles. They've now been vacated for over 80 days. But the WWE finally acknowledged their existence after those 80 days of vacancy. The last real acknowledgement of the titles from WWE prior to this week came 4 days after Sasha and Naomi's walkout, where Michael Cole announced that a tournament will take place to crown the new tag team champions for the women's division. But instead of instantly crowning new champions and trying to build the women's tag team division right back up, they decided to let the women's tag team division fade away and basically walk out with Sasha and Naomi as well. A WWE title usually never goes 80 days being vacated, but that was unfortunately the case here. There's certain things that are providing just a glimmer of hope for the women's tag team titles and division is the appearance of Bayley's stable and other things like the rumored return of Sasha and Naomi. Bayley's stable has the potential to do what we saw from Toxic Attraction in NXT. Bayley can eventually get her hands on the Raw women's title, while Sky and Dakota can get their hands on the women's tag team titles. That's a way right there to get something dominant going in the women's division and bring those women's tag team titles back to life in a major way. Bayley recently appeared on the After the Bell podcast and shared her thoughts on wanting to step up as a locker room leader and get those women tag team titles to return. She had this to say, quote, "If we worked a little less selfishly, if we kind of see the bigger picture, I feel like we've been in this tunnel of we're trying to show our bosses, I have what it takes. No, I have what it takes. It turns us against each other. No, let's show them all what we can do. If we all show them that we can get along and do a show and we're not going to complain about every little thing, then it will make them want to give us more because we're easier to work with. There's a fine line between fighting for what you believe in and then trying to make the best out of every situation. I think I can help the girls that I bring in navigate these things to further the division. I want the tag titles to come back and play a very important role on the show." End quote. So if Bayley does everything she talked about there, that's only going to bring a lot of positive things to the women's division. Bayley wants to end this selfishness in the division. She feels like it's only going to keep turning everyone against each other, and as a result of that, they won't be able to properly work together and show everyone what they can do. She wants to be the leader that brings that unity to the locker room, and as a result of having that unity, it'll bring great things back to the women's division, such as the return of the women's tag team titles. Bayley is saying that more opportunities will present themselves when they work together, rather than everyone being in it only for themselves. So it's all great points by Bayley, and it does feel like Bayley will get this done. Before Bayley showed up with Dakota and Sky, no one knew if the women's tag team titles would ever make a comeback, because there was just nothing there to come back to. Nikki and Doudrop were the only established team, so there was no point to bring the titles back because the same thing would most likely end up happening again. Nikki and Doudrop would have probably become champions with no one else around to even challenge them. So it would have brought us right back to where the women's tag team titles have been at for the last few years, with no change. But Bayley's stable appears to be a promising tag team that would elevate the tag titles if they use them the right way and if there's a decent enough division built around them. A tournament for the women's tag team titles is set to start soon on Raw, and fans wonder if the beginning of the tournament could also be the same spot that we see Sasha and Naomi make their returns at. Maybe they don't win the titles back, but maybe they do go the distance and make it to the finals against Sky and Dakota. Either way, the women's tag team divisions appear to be coming back stronger than ever. Sasha Banks has not sent out a single tweet on her official Twitter account since May 14th, but that all changed recently when she tweeted out for the first time in nearly 3 months. Sasha's tweet was to promote her upcoming appearance at the C2E2 event, where she'll be showing up for a meet and greet session with the fans. Sasha tweeted about how she was excited to see everyone at the appearance. Then, for when it comes to Naomi, Wrestling Observer is reporting that apparently, Naomi's contract has passed its original expiration date. But of course, there was a whole legal mess going on behind the scenes. So no one is really sure if WWE froze Naomi's contract over these last few months, because if they did, then technically she would owe them those couple months. But if they didn't freeze it, then Naomi is technically no longer under contract. If that's true, Naomi can't just simply return. She'll have to get a full new deal done if that's truly the case. So even though there were all these reports about how Sasha and Naomi have agreed to return to WWE, there's still a lot of confusion going on right now with Sasha Banks and Naomi. So there's been a lot of positive signs that they could be coming back, but at the same time, the situation looks messy and confusing as it looked over the last few months. So no one will know what's going on here until we actually see them return or not. 2015 was a weird time for Rusev and Lana's story in WWE. Rusev and Lana's duo was highly successful during their first few years in WWE. But it got to the point where WWE started to play around with the idea of Rusev and Lana going through a breakup. And they didn't do it just once, they did it in 2015 and again in late 2019, early 2020 with Bobby Lashley and Lana's pairing. But this story comes from the 2015 storyline where Lana was paired with Dolph Ziggler, while Rusev was paired with Summer Rae. What WWE fans never saw was what Lana described as the very awkward kissing practice that went down backstage in front of Vince McMahon. CJ Perry had this to say about what went down there, quote, "The crazy thing with Dolph that was super awkward was that we actually had to practice the kiss in front of Vince and Miro. So the funny thing is, Summer Rae was telling the story of how she had to practice kissing Dolph in front of Vince. I was like, what? You have to practice in front of Vince? Yeah, right. She's like, be ready. You might need to do the same at some point," end quote. Fans felt like the storyline itself and everything that unfolded on WWE television through those years was painful enough for Rusev and Lana to go through. But no one knew that awkwardness was even carried backstage like that as well. So it was quite the surprising story that CJ Perry told there about the 2015 storyline. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.